Why are you guys so effective in the second half defensively so far this season, you think?
I think one of the reasons are the guys get together and they're focused at halftime. They're trying to correct the mistakes they've made in the first half, and they've got a corrective attitude, and they're talking amongst their groups, and they're more prepared to go out and play.
Your defensive line had a big hand in drawing a lot of false start penalties on Mississippi State's offensive line last week. How do you plan on being as effective in drawing those this weekend?
I think a lot of that was just a matter of the crowd noise, a matter of the clock. I think there's a lot of factors. I don't think it was necessarily our defensive line. That's something you control what you can control, and you can't control what the other side does.
None of those guys are getting big stats, but they're all kind of combined, getting a decent amount of stats. How do you sort of preach that selflessness?
Well, number one, you got to stay fresh in this league to play well, and I think the biggest stat is a win, right? And the more you win, the more guys see the results, and then you look at what you're able to do in rush defense when you're fresh, and the guys have bought into that up front.
Jake Bentley's a proven guy in the SEC. What kind of problems does he pose?
I mean, he knows where to go with the ball. He's competitive as heck. He can make a bunch of the throws, and he's got good weapons around him, and I think he knows that, and he does a good job of getting the ball all over the field.
What do you say from Deebo Samuel on film as he's worked his way back from that injury?
The same explosive guy you saw last year. I think he's come back, and he might be even playing more consistently.
How have you seen the confidence grow with this unit over the first 4 weeks of the season?
I think we've gotten better every week, and the test is to continue to do that. That's what the great teams do.
Has it been tougher to continue to have that underdog mentality this week after a big win like Mississippi State?
I'll be honest with you, we look at it as a series of one-game seasons. So I don't hear the kids talk about whether we're the underdog or the favorite. We're just worried about the Wildcats.
Mark was very complimentary of your game plan, and he said it wasn't overly complex. It was pretty simple. Could you have done that a couple of years ago, or is the talent level and the maturity to the point where you don't have to do a lot of complex schemes to be effective defensively?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we got older guys, and they understand issues and problems, and they've done a good job communicating. They've done a good job kind of anticipating pre-snap different things that you get out of different formations, different places on the ball on the field. So yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, with maturity, you're able to sometimes do more with less. Does that make sense?
What do you like that you're seeing from your secondary the most so far this season?
That they're challenging and winning one-on-ones.
Ty's interception was a big momentum changer of the game last week. How important is it to give young players like that good reps in big games like Mississippi State?
Everybody's got a role, and I don't remember how many guys we played on defense, but it was a bunch. And in order to have success in this conference, you got to have depth. So Ty did a nice job, but we knew his number was going to be called.
How much does that help, like the overall, not just morale, but make sure that guys are prepared when he gets in the game and makes a play like that, when maybe people aren't expecting him to make a play?
Yeah, I think the guys on the outside might not be expecting him to make a play, but we've seen him make plays in practice. And generally speaking, I really believe that if you're able to do it on the practice field, it transfers over to games for the most part.
Mark said he played, 6 snaps in that game or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah, he played when we were in dime on third down, he was in. So he was in a bunch of those third and longs, and then he was in the 2-minute at the end.
Coach, how healthy is Quentin Bohanna?
He's back good to go.
Calvin had a big play. Saturday, he's been a big part of that rotation. You've been able to use. What about his progression and the way he's?
I mean, Calvin's a big, long joker that's really a technician, and he's done some really good things. And I think he has gotten better and better and better with all the techniques that Coach LeBlanc has taught him.
I know South Carolina, and making the change with Coach McClendon being the offensive coordinator, they talked some over the summer about they wanted to go to faster tempo. Have they done that in the game?
Absolutely. Their tempo is way faster than it was last year.
Is it faster than guys you've seen or teams you've faced?
Yeah, it's fast. I mean, it's, at times they go Ole Miss, Missouri fast. Now they don't do that the whole game, but they have the ability to do that.
Is the key there just making sure guys know their assignments and get lined up quickly?
Absolutely. I mean, we preach all the time. Get to the ball, get your eyes to the call. And as simple as that sounds, that's the repetition that they try to create and break, when you're getting fast tempo.
Does that change substitution patterns at all?
Yeah, you can't. You got to be careful subbing within the series.
Touched on a few guys. Who else stands out in that South Carolina offense?
I mean, all their wideouts are good. I mean, every one of them, 89, 13, 1. Their back's good. Quarterback's good. I'll tell you what, I think they're way more physical than they were a year ago on the offensive line. So they're a good offense. I mean, I think last week they had over 500 yards of total offense. They're a good offense.
Somebody was telling me today that I think Will and Mark are a lot alike, that they defensive coordinators who believe in running the ball and stopping the run. And this could be that type of game on Saturday. Is that the keys to the game, you think?
Yeah, and I think, they got so much skill. It's eliminating. I don't think you're going to completely eliminate them, but eliminate explosive plays. Because this is an explosive play offense with those wideouts. But they want to line up and pound the ball too. And, you've heard Coach say it, and it's kind of our mantra, run the football and stop the run. And you got a great chance to be successful.